Yeah, 5:30, opening up January 8th, 2025, Clinton Parks and Recreation meeting. We stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the United States, to the republic which is one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, everyone had a chance to look at the December 11th, 2024 minutes Laura sent for us. Any questions or comments? And if not, I'll accept a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Or no? Minutes are passed. Okay, State Park review. I know that it was Joe that wanted that. He's not here just yet, and he sent us a picture. Not sure what it's about, but I know that we got the ARPA funds for fencing and lighting, right?
Fencing,
And tree removal, right?
what's that?
Wasn't it fencing and tree removal?
Fencing and tree removal. So
Fencing.
we weren't able,
No
so
lighting.
with the deadline, we had to have like a purchase order by December 31st in order to use the ARPA funds. So by the time we knew that, well, even before it was approved, because there was some confusion on whether the 45,000 was approved. We were told it was, and then we were told it wasn't officially. So, but in the meantime, I was getting quotes to move forward, or to get a purchase order before the deadline. So I was only able to do that with the fence. And prior to the fence, it was trees growing into the everywhere pretty
Yep.
much. So I included that cost and got an estimate from Kilborn. That work is already done, so I don't know if that's what that picture is or not. But they cleared,
Leave the trees.
they cleared the trees. There's still some through the fencing, but they're removing that
When you
fencing.
drive right in, those trees, like that first part there, or is
So
it-
they-
Along the like.
Yeah, so you couldn't even see if you're facing it, you're going in the main entrance to your right, that was all overgrown, so that's been cleared. And then the trees in the front, anything around the fence line, we had removed. There's some vines and stuff, but they're removing that entire fence. So just, we needed to do it in order for them to install the
that's the
fence.
fencing.
So it's ready for the new fencing, which has been approved. The price is in their packet. And that work will probably be sometime early spring.
All right.
So I think we, out of the 45,000, we spent 34,242 at ARPA. I just made a note, just so you know, I'm not sure if they reallocated the remaining funds to a different ARPA project in order to not waste it.
Right.
But we weren't able to get.
Well, that was the purpose of that phone, just to do that anyways, right?
Yeah, and if we could have stretched it a little more with maybe bought some lighting and stuff, but we ran up against it.
But I think.
But $34,000 worth of work for the new fence is a good starting point. That's
Yeah.
grant
We can
money.
consider the lighting next year when we're doing the capital project.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do research and pricing and stuff on it now, and it might be
What's it
something.
like seal coating it?
We could price that out too, but so it's hard to get people out there to get pricing. So I'm happy we were able to get the fencing because that's the major cost. I think seal coating would be a good idea, and I don't think it'll be that much money. So that might be something we can do
That's what I
with
thought.
our operating budget and not have to use other funding. So, but we can certainly start looking at pricing that and see where we're at, you know. But yeah, I mean, the fencing is going to be huge, I think, and
Yeah.
that's a big chunk of the cost. So that's all taken care of.
It's good. Well, I know the kids that use it came in a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were fine with it. They didn't really want anything changed.
Yeah, they have their own system down
They
there,
do.
you know, and I think they're happy.
Works
with
for
it.
them.
So we did clear it. The trees like overgrew like maybe 5 or 6 feet into
Yeah.
the park, so there's a lot more room there. Our guys will clean it up, like the leaves and stuff they couldn't get to before, but just taking the trees down is,
Gave them some more room. They'll be
yeah,
happy.
I mean, it makes the whole place look nicer, so.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, facilities update. That's you again, Brian.
Yep. So, I just have Carlisle, I know we met for a second time and we have a clearer path forward. Anything we do would be more springtime anyways, so we do have some time. I know we discussed at our last meeting up there on site, that usually Like
The benches and.
what's that? Yeah, we're gonna put
Yeah.
benches in, but just the specific locations.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe this spring pour the concrete slabs for the benches in those locations. And then when the benches come in, we'll install. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And again, anything we move up there is gonna be springtime anyway, so we do have some time, but I think we have a path forward at least. And then we'll see where we're at money wise after the benches and the concrete, and then we can go to kind of phase two of maybe a swing or something like that we discussed. So, Central Park, just a quick update, I believe the Christmas lights are coming down, just in case anyone asks, the end of next week or early the following week, so they'll be up another about a week and a half probably. And then, Central and High Street will be taken down for the season. Skate park we already discussed. Acre Park, this has been on for a while, but we are gonna probably extend. So we put a concrete pad underneath, like the awning area, where the picnic tables were last season. Then we have kind of a sidewalk entrance where people can access it, but we're still getting like puddles and over splash that I'm sure, I don't know if you're getting complaints. So we're looking at ways to maybe just extend from the pad, maybe another 2 or 3 feet where that over splash will be on concrete and not create mud puddles. So I already spoke to the contractor. I haven't got a price yet. We are gonna move forward, with whatever that is, because it's not a large area, but it's just a matter of getting it scheduled. So the idea is to get it scheduled before the May or Memorial Day when we open up. So that should help with some of the complaints and calls of it being filthy up there. It's tracking mud all over the place. So we are working on that. One more thing. As far as just building maintenance, I just made a note. So we did have a cleaning contractor for the last about year and a half that took care of this building, and a couple other buildings in town, but they were here maybe 2 or 3 times a week. They're no longer with us. We did hire a full-time employee on the town side that this building's gonna be part of that kind of custodial rotation. So we'll have someone here daily, before Laura McKenzie come in. You should start to see some improvements. Even minor maintenance items will have eyes on it sooner, and we can address the walls and some of the stuff that is.
Will that include the field house if it's being used?
Yeah, it could.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about this position is the scope can change based on our needs. Whereas the cleaning contractor had very specific,
Yeah.
I do this and won't do that. So we have more leeway and more say on what needs to get done and what's a priority. So
Good.
I think it'll be good for everyone, definitely for here, but
Yeah.
the other buildings that it's gonna give us more time and oversight on. So that is that for the parts. I don't know if anyone has any questions or if I missed anything that was on someone's mind.
Well, the only question I have is the field house.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not on Fuller Field, never mind. You staying for Fuller Field?
Okay.
Thanks, Mike. Okay. All set to go to Parks and Rec. Update.
We are currently working on our summer programming, so we have. How many concerts do we have booked so far?
We have 7 out of the 11 booked. We probably have 10 groups that are asking to play, so we're just going through, listening to the tapes and seeing what works. But
Picking out the lineup, getting everyone settled.
so we have
Just
7
start
weeks.
date.
So
June 17th with Mr. Strickland is kicking us off.
and we're working on our summer camp programs. We have the 3 levels again. We're reworking some of the structure, and we're hoping to have the younger kids up at the middle school this year, pending approval from the schools. That way we can take more kids
Instead of here.
instead of here, because we had some crazy wait lists because we can only really take like 35, 40 kids down here, and even then it's tight. So hopefully we get that space, and then we can have them go to the kiddie pool in the morning and use some of that shared field space with the older kids at a staggering schedule. But I think it would be great with like growing the program.
So they still be kind of separate up
Yeah.
here?
Definitely.
Your question?
I just, sorry to interrupt, but I just so you know that they're breaking ground on the middle school probably May or June. So those like side fields will
Yeah.
probably be just, I don't know if that was in there.
We're looking really just for the calf
Okay.
and the gym if possible.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
how like, when it's gonna be impacted or not, but it might not. By July, it might, that whole section might be closed up. So.
I'm sure that's what's like holding up my request too, is figuring out.
Yeah,
ways
the
to do that.
timeline.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to record that. That's all.
Thank you.
Yep.
We have our field trip schedule set for the older kids now. So we're gonna do the everybody field trip every Thursday and the teens only field trip on Tuesdays again this year. We are planning on doing a spring movie series outside at Fuller Field with the hopes that we'll have the concession stand up and running by then. And that'll be a nice way to kick that off. We got a cultural council grant for that for $2,000, and we got one for the holiday pops for $1,000. So that was awesome.
So with everyone using those fields out there, baseball and all that, you're gonna fit that in? You'd be able to just do it down here?
It's at night
Will it be
too,
at
and
night?
there's no
Oh, yeah.
fields on the diamonds out there, lights on the diamonds out there. So
Got it.
we're still kind of in that push for space for our winter programming. We're working on the teen nights, but we're having a hard time fitting it in because the kids don't really want to come to this room. They really prefer the gym. So we're working with the schools to figure out if there's any time that we could, like even if it's just like a one-off night, we could have the middle schoolers up there. The concession stand is cleaned out as of yesterday, and we are hoping to get some equipment in there and have the ability to provide it as a service during field usage. So that'll be cool. And those are my updates. If anybody has any questions or
All right, well, and that concession stand is running, up and running with the Parks and Rec equipment. How are you gonna have people use it outside of Parks and Rec?
that
Should there be should we come up with some kind of policy for
Yeah.
outsiders using it? Cause
I'm not sure how we want to do that at this point. Because it could be similar to what the Little League does up at Savage, where like Parks and Rec staff, because we do have our seasonal staff, they could run it. But I'm not sure what policy we want to set for that.
well, I think there should be something because we've been waiting so long to get that done that I don't wanna see it just being abused.
Definitely, and once we have our equipment in there, it'll
Yeah.
be
So how do we do that? How do we set a policy? Don't,
um
make a motion?
you would make a motion, yeah. But I don't know what policy we want to set for that.
All right, well, can we just put it on the agenda for next,
Definitely.
to talk about it? And you give us some kind of enlightenment on the policy setting?
Yeah, we can look at what we're gonna put in there and then kind of make a suggestion to the board as to
Okay,
what we think might be.
guys, that okay with you guys?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions on our updates?
No.
The field house out there is also, it's been cleaned out as far as like our equipment is in the cubbies at the front. And if we want to set a site visit there for our next meeting, we just have to put it on the agenda.
Yeah, I think we did want that, didn't we? We wanted that in the concession stand.
Yeah. So if we're gonna be talking about the policy for that, it might be,
Yeah. Now, the downstairs is not ready to have anything,
the
Yeah,
down
right,
now.
cause that has mold, right?
No,
No?
it's just, it's the concrete floor. It's a basement. It would need some overhaul depending on what you want to do with it. It's perfect for storage right now. If you needed space.
Well, I was looking at that,
I know the field study said there had been moisture,
yeah, the downstairs.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure we want to put our equipment down there just because that's also,
Yeah.
it's in the main level, so it's more easily accessible for when our staff has to get it for camp programming and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
'cause you're gonna use that with kids, so you
Yeah,
don't have to be exposed to mold.
Definitely.
or Possibility of it. Right? All right. What's up?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn by Mike. A second. On 5:45. All in favor?
Aye.
Start January 8th, 2025, Fuller Field admission at 5:45. Review and acceptance of December 11th, 2024 meetings. Again, Laura sent them. Anyone have any questions or concerns about them? If not, I'll have a motion.
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
All right, motion has been made by Ryan, second by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
What's that? All right, facilities update, Brian, you're on again.
Just an update from the last, like I said, I think your last meeting, the renovation, not the renovation, but the work on the new diamond was underway. It is complete. Diamond turf did it, looks really good, so I know there's gonna be more usage on that field, coming, this spring, moving forward, so it's in good shape. Both diamonds are in good shape, for whoever needs to use it, so. I haven't removed this item because we still have about $3,800 from that warrant article for the concession and Fuller Field work that we've done. I'm looking to possibly, I'll probably speak with Mackenzie just to see if it matches up to kind of what the intent and the use of the concession is going to be. But instead of having the boards there, maybe put two like windows, like sliding windows,
I
something.
think that would be great.
Something
Yeah.
like that. So that's kind of what we're looking at, and I'm gonna price that out and see if this will cover a portion of it, might cover all of it. If not, then we can find it in my operating budget, because I don't think we'll be much more than that. Just put two windows. It's more secure. It's less effort to open and close. We could tint them so if it's not open, or get a curtain or something, so people aren't looking in, when you're closed and seeing what's in there, the equipment in there. So we can make it kind of safe that way. But that's what I'm thinking with that. It seems like that's
I agree, definitely.
everyone's okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Everything has been winterized, so all the piping of the restrooms, nothing's operational right now, so we shouldn't have any issue with freezing pipes or anything like that. We'll get it going as soon as, with everything else in the springtime, so it, like I said, everything's working, it's just down for the season, so. Talk a little bit about, let's see. Yeah, I won't really get into that. I know we're kind of limited on space. And again, some future items, we are gonna look at the heat. We're looking at, painting the interior, whether we do it internally or whether we contract it out. It's something that, we're gonna continue maintaining those buildings and making upgrades as we go. But that's all stuff that we can do with our staff, you know what I mean? So, ticket booths and stuff like that. This has been on for a while, but it's stuff that's on my radar to kind of just improve and keep maintaining and not let anything go. We don't want the bricks falling down, and it's kind of the history of the field. So we like to maintain it the best we can. So that's why this is on there. It's just something that we're gonna, when we have time and funding for it, we'll have someone take a look at it and just kind of bring it back to life a little bit, so it doesn't go without attention. So, and that's the same thing with the press box on the big field. That's kind of an eyesore right now, and everything else has been kind of well maintained. So that's something that I'm looking. There's been talk of donations and donating time and material, but I'm actually going to get someone to look at it and price it, and just to have some type of comparison of what we're looking at to make improvements there. Yeah, that's pretty much my
That's it?
update. Yeah, I don't know if there's any questions.
So any questions, Brian? No? So, all right, thanks again, Brian. Okay, next on part, full field agenda is the 2025 field usage. Just,
I will have Neshoba's schedule by the end of this week so we can get them squared away early, and then I'll get the dates and times from the Little League that they're gonna wanna use it, and the Bulldogs. And then we can go from there, see what's
Okay, so date and time from Clinton Little League is call,
call, yeah,
and Bulldogs is,
yeah.
who are they? And they part of the Clinton Little League?
I get their schedules together. I don't know what the logistics of the organization is. I think
Are they a town team?
Yeah. It's a level up from Little League, but it's Clinton kids and coaches. I think it somehow.
under the same
Yeah.
umbrella, I think.
Yeah.
They sent me
It's I believe it's AAU in the field.
Doesn't fall under Little
Yeah.
League, like,
It's like it's a step between Little League and Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Before they go on the big diamond, they go to like an extended field on the
Yeah.
large field.
and I'll reach out and figure out when we'll have their schedules as well for all of the fields.
I demand.
But it's gonna be specifically an interesting year for scheduling Fuller Field.
Right. We don't have to worry about the schools yet, right?
No, not yet.
This year.
We do need to decide what fee we're going to have Neshoba pay.
Well, don't you have a fee for it?
We have a fee,
Didn't we talk about just making it like one?
yeah, like a
lump sum?
blanket amount. I don't know yet how many days they're gonna have. I'm assuming it's gonna be in use pretty much every day,
I
But-
think we should probably see
what their schedule
what their
is.
schedule looks like, how many teams before we throw it.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Right.
So I should have that by this week and then we can discuss it during February.
Okay. All right, that's it.
By then I should probably have a more concrete answer from Call and the Bulldogs as well. So we'll be able to kind of figure out where everybody's.
Is there a men's league too that plays on
There
Sundays? They
It's
start-
the Grays, but they don't start until Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
That should be okay.
Okay. All right.
And Legions in the summer.
Yeah, and the Legions in the summer.
I know he had said they probably wouldn't overlap with the school, so that'll.
The Legion?
I know that doesn't think
Yeah.
the school's done.
Okay. All right. And I believe we do have Trivium field requests, and that is Mr. McKeon?
Yes.
Thanks, Brian.
That's good.
Hi,
Hi.
thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm Bill McCann. I've been here once before. I'll talk to you about the Trillium School over in Lancaster and our baseball program. So thank you for granting me a few moments here today. We've been using Fuller Field since 2022, so during 2022, 23, 24. Love using it. It's absolutely fantastic. We've had a JV team where we're in the process of actually now expanding out to a varsity team, hopefully for 2025. It's been great working with both Laura and Mackenzie on the scheduling. And in that process of talking about this year, 2025, she explained to me that there were some commitments made to another outside team. And that it's going to be very difficult to allow us to have any time on the field this year. So I was hoping to understand a little bit more about how the process works for getting consideration for use of the field, what the priorities are, what the criteria are, to just make sure I can understand it in terms of the use for training.
Well, I think with her having to look at all the groups that are there, you just mentioned, she could let you know what's left over, but I'm not hopeful.
So that's not really my question. My question is, like, why do those groups get, what is the criteria that goes into
Oh,
why other
because-
groups get priority use?
The townspeople get priority first.
I understand, that makes a lot of sense.
So that's the call and the Bulldogs. And is Legion Town or no?
Legion is
Legion's
in
Town
London.
too. And then the Showbuzz, they started 2 years ago with us requesting, or a year.
Neshoba started 2 years ago, but we do co-op sports with them and it's a
Right.
partnership.
So what's the co-ops? What does that mean?
That means Clinton kids go to Neshoba to play certain sports or
If it's
Vice
not
versa.
offered at Clinton, they go.
like wrestling, ice hockey.
Well, like
There's
baseball is
lacrosse.
certainly offered, right? Baseball is offered.
Well, yes, but there's a partnership between the town and
Okay.
or the two schools essentially.
So we have Clinton residents, at Lancaster, at Rivian. I mean, is there an opportunity for a co-op for?
I think that's a private school though, isn't
It
it?
is.
So I don't know if that makes a difference to private and public. I would have to look into
I would
that.
say we're not,
One
we're not trying to
that
boot you
would make a
off. We're
difference
just,
if it
like
does.
Neshoba came to us because they needed essentially help
Well,
because they're
right,
building
right.
a new school.
Right, well, we don't have a field at all.
I understand that.
We've
So,
never had a.
Like I said, we're not trying to boot you off, but like it's.
Well,
gonna
I have to be
very
honest with you,
busy.
it feels like that. It really, and here's my plan, if you can just help me with the information. I'm gonna have to go back to 25 kids who've been playing on the field for 3 years now and tell them that we can't this year. And I don't have a good reason to tell them. I'm hoping you can, I was very interested, are they paying more? You know, that would help. It would, like, okay, well, they're gonna pay more. That kind of makes sense. The co-op thing, that's helpful, but, you know, we have Clinton coaches and parents and students who attend Trivium School as well. So I just hoping you can help me understand so that I can also explain it, why we're not gonna be able to use the field.
I think the
And why,
biggest thing-
I'm sorry, to be more explicit, why another group that's outside of Clinton has priority. When I admit, and I don't want to disparage, Mackenzie's been great to work with, but it's always been laid out as a very specific process to me. Yeah, Bill, I know you want to use the field. I got to see everything else that comes in from Clinton, from the high school, from the Little League. Totally understand that. And then in March, you know, I'll see what we have and I'll try to get you as many dates as you can. Totally understand that. But when it came in, well, a couple of years ago, there's another school outside of Clinton, they don't have a field, they're building a field, they won't have a field. They get priority use, we're waiting for their schedule, as soon as we have their schedule, we can book X, Y, and Z. It just doesn't seem justified.
I think the biggest reason why we were open to Neshoba is because the co-op reason. They give our high school students an opportunity to play certain sports that Clinton doesn't offer. So our way of, you know, allowing them to come here is to use our fields. Because if, you know, we don't offer hockey, we don't offer wrestling. So in order to allow our students to play those sports, they can go to Neshoba. So it's kind of our way of opening the baseball fields up to them. Because our kids are a part of that district in some way. So,
That makes sense, I appreciate that.
And also, this is gonna be a multi-year process where we're building a new middle school, there's middle school baseball teams that are probably gonna be using that field next year also, I would think. So like, it's not,
The Clinton.
we only have
The
limited
Clinton
fields,
fields.
yeah.
Sure.
We only have limited fields in town, and we're not, like I said, I don't know if you were told explicitly no. I wasn't part of this conversation, but
No, I was not told, I was told it's certainly not, what we've been able to use in the past and
yeah,
very.
which
yeah.
is,
I think it's just
this is a
very
crazy
tight.
year. It's gonna be tight, and we're gonna try to get everything that we can onto the field.
It's gonna be tight for our own kids, our own Clinton residents this year. The Little League is gonna be tight. Because we're bringing in, I think Neshoba has close to 3 or 4 teams that we're allowing to use. So it's gonna be very tight for our own kids
Right.
to schedule.
We definitely have three
Yeah,
teams coming in.
I mean, they could have a freshman, JV1, JV2, and a varsity. So, I mean, until we get their schedule, I think it's something we would have to revisit.
Okay, that's helpful, I appreciate it. Again, you know, we really enjoyed using the field for the last several years. I've got seniors who, you know, it's going to be their last year, hoping to play a game or two over there. This is already their last year. And you've given me good information to kind of go back to them to help them understand why, we won't be able to use the field as much as we would like this year. So I appreciate that. If there's anything along the lines of co-op is the right word, or relationship, or something where trivial could exchange, I have no idea what that might be, but you know, so that there could be consideration for, it's just not one way, right? So you're helping Trivium have access to the field, and Trivium is doing X or Y or whatever it might be. We'd be very open to that. And you know, we're 8 minutes away over there, and it's a beautiful building, and it does have some grounds, and I know they'd be very amenable to that. Okay,
Thank you for that information.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time and your information.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and so just, I know we have a lot of schedules to look at and everything. If there's anything available, we just,
Definitely.
you know, our CEOs, we're at part of the MIA, as I'm sure for sure and the others are. It starts on the 18th of March. And, you know, to the degree that anything available. Happy that,
Definitely.
it was
Did you
great.
say you were having a JV and varsity team?
Yeah, we've had JV up till now, and now we're,
Now it's varsity, so that's.
well, it's gonna be both, but we're looking to expand into both. We're gonna have continued.
Would you practice separately though?
No, we tend to practice all together.
All right, so that's,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right, that was the final thing on the full field agenda, motion.
Motion to adjourn?
One second.
All in favor of adjourning?
Next meeting is February 12th.
February 12th. Did you forget that? We stopped at 6:02.